Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's Wednesday. July 23rd.
Yeah.
Skipped the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Monday, I worked on catching up some stuff, and we played D&D. And then yesterday after work, we got some Stardew played and made soup. Just hanging out at home.
And we did homework.
Yeah, you just did homework. But we was like, we're not gonna do movie day this week. Instead, we're gonna go to the movie theater and see a movie there.
Yeah.
Cause like around the time that Beth was like getting out of her gallbladder surgery, the How to Train Your Dragon live action movie came out, and she's like, I want to see it.
Yeah, I really like the cartoon one.
And then we forgot. But then Superman was coming out. I was like, I'd like to see Superman. She's like, I wanted to see How to Train Your Dragon. I was like, well, that's been out for longer, so hopefully we'll get to see Superman. But I was like, okay, well, let's just go to see How to Train Your Dragon, so we make sure that before that one goes away, we get to see that one.
Thank you.
And so we're gonna go in and check it out, and she's going at it from the opinion of she liked the animated one, and I'm going at it from the opinion of, I'm assuming it's like some sort of like how-to. It's like a documentary on dragon training. No. And the reason that you want to do the live action is because otherwise, as a cartoon, you're just gonna think they're making it up. They're gonna show how it actually works to train your dragon.
No.
No?
No, he was being ridiculous again.
I don't know. I think that's probably what it is. He's gonna learn how to train a dragon.
No.
Are they gonna tell us how to find a dragon? Because I don't see a whole lot of them around.
Again, it's a fictional movie. It's not a documentary. It's all fictional.
Sounds a bit disappointing, but we'll check it out anyways.
Guys, he's gonna rate it bad just because he wants it to be a documentary.
I want to learn how to train a dragon.
There aren't any. It's a fictional story.
That's sad.
The D&D movie was live action, and you didn't think that was...
It wasn't a how-to movie.
But it's just meh.
And so we watched the 2025 live action version of How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I give it like 4 out of 5 stars.
It's pretty high for you.
It's actually pretty. It is the most common score that I've given for a movie. It just barely made it. It went back and forth between 3 and 4 throughout the thing. Like early on, we're dealing with all the most annoying. Mr. Full of Himself, annoying. The twins, annoying. Mr. Giving stats to all the dragons, super freaking annoying.
For sure, yeah. No, they're all awful. They're literally all awful. That's intentional.
Yes, but it makes it where you as an audience are annoyed.
I feel like they come off more annoying probably in the cartoon one. Oh! It's a cartoon show, you know, it's like they're like comedic relief.
Then they're comedic relief. One of the things I'm actually like looking at, and like some of the designs that I feel is probably the worst, and maybe you will enjoy it because maybe it was really cool for you. But having not seen the cartoon, I wish that it was less beholden to the cartoon. I wish that they would have gone their own way with more of the design.
What do you mean specifically? So
many of the characters, stylistically, look like they are supposed to be cartoon characters.
Okay.
Like the shape of them. I'm like, your people, make your people look like people, not like cartoons.
Yeah, I feel like you don't notice it so much on the grown adults and whatnot in this. Like in the movie, they're noticeably just like even bigger.
Just looking at Hiccup's dad.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon kind of shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. So anyways, they're annoying, and then there's some of the fun stuff with Hiccup showing them up. That was cool. And then like the first flight starts out cool, and then it gets all really actiony flight, and it's like kind of sickening, and I'm like, I don't like that. And then there's the whole like trying to convince Astrid, and that part was cool. And then Hiccup's dad's a jerk, and I didn't like that. And then we have that final battle. I'm like, whatever. But then I really liked the last like 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes definitely sold me, like the hope that he gives as he wakes up, you know, sans one leg, and sees that the community has basically changed overnight and become the thing that he was working on the last couple months. So that's cool. And just seeing the dragons are free from the tyrant that was rolling over them, which means maybe if they do a sequel, it would be good. Who knows? So that's kind of where I was like, okay, the hope and the end is interesting. I loved how the end mirrored the beginning, like with like the voiceover. Like that part was, that was really clutch. I was like, okay, I like that. So that was the last moments, and really that was what ultimately sold it to me. There, the last 3 minutes of like, okay, fine, it gets the 4.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the second one is good. I think they made a 3rd cartoon one, and I don't know if I saw it, and I don't know if it was any good, but I remember the second one being a pretty solid follow-up to it, because there are some, not a lot, but there are some questions, and obviously you do want to see how things progress in this new because the whole movie is setting up like he is changing the way the Vikings are dealing with dragons. It
seems like it would be a more interesting world afterwards.
Correct. No. It is very much origin story vibes. Yeah. Very much origin story vibes.
Also, 3/5 of the dragon designs, horrible. Ugly, no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're funny.
Toothless. Looks good.
Toothless is
what's the one that Astrid rode? It's got the blue one with the horn. That one was good.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. She's got a good dragon.
And then the one that like catches itself on fire.
That one's cool.
It's cool.
Not practical.
It looks good when it's not catching itself on fire. It's a good dragon design when not just looking like it's dying because it's a flame. The fat one, stupid. The 2-headed one, stupid.
Yeah. They match.
The big bad monster one, stupid. I'm not a big fan of those designs.
Fair enough. It does hold pretty true to the cartoon, which I do enjoy.
Yeah, how'd you feel? You came at it from knowing the cartoon. You cried. I did not cry.
I mean, I knew what was happening, and I still got a little bit emotional seeing it. No, it's very good. They held very true to the cartoon. So if you like that one, it's a solid live action version. You get a lot of the same things that you want. There were 2 scenes that I noticed were missing from the cartoon, which I feel like is kind of interesting that they cut things out for a live action. They probably went longer on the fighting scenes than I realized. They felt fine to me for length, but like that's probably where the time was lost, would be my guess. But one is a very like non-important scene. I don't even remember what Hiccup's saying, but he is very much making fun of his father's voice. Like his father says something to him and he's just being very exhausted with his father and his father not listening to him, because that's a very common theme throughout the entire movie until the very end when his dad finally realizes, oh crap, I'm not paying attention. Okay, got it. But he just is making, he literally imitates his father's voice, which I'm sure is a lot easier to do with voice actors than an actual teenage boy. So I could see why that was just cut out for that kind of reason. The only other one was a lot of the movie with both of them, you see him learn a thing with Toothless and then apply it later in the dragon ring.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that. Yeah,
we saw a lot of that. That's a common thing. Right.
Cool. Yeah.
The one trick that he does in defeating the big bad, where he knows to have Toothless shoot fire down its throat, that is also learned in a previous scene in the cartoon that he is playing around. It's one of the smaller ones that you don't really see too much in this movie, but they're like fairly present in the other one, like the little tiny dragons. They fight one of them one time, and he's like hanging out with a bunch of dragons with Toothless, and I don't remember exactly when it happens, but something happens to where like the little one gets a little bit of like fire in his mouth, and he's like, and kind of like freaks out, and he's like, good to know, not fire resistant on the inside, and like makes a little comment, and then it is come back later when they're fighting the big bad. So for the little like tying together, it's like that's always fun seeing him using the learning. It's not a big empty.
Yeah, for that final battle, they did use the they need their wings thing in breaking up the wings, like that did come back.
Yeah.
And also, Toothless has, all the others breathe fire, Toothless breathes lightning. Right?
I don't know, I just assumed it was big fire burst.
Oh, I mean, it's like blue, like it's some sort of like lightning ball, whatever thing.
Yeah.
So my brain just read it
fire,
instantly as, okay,
hot.
so Toothless, has a different kind of breath weapon, and so when Big Bad is fire and Toothless shoots it with lightning, I'm sorry, if your blue dragon attacks your red dragon, they're still gonna both take damage. So
no, and I mean from a D&D perspective, yeah, that makes sense. From I was watching as a child without D&D context, I never interpreted it as a lightning dragon. I fully get that.
And I also don't know what it looks like in the animation, if it looks different as far as the attack.
They definitely show it as blue here. It's pretty. I feel like it is a different color, but it's been so long since I've seen it that I can't really speak to if it looks like lightning. But they definitely go. They don't allude to it being lightning in the cartoon one of like him having a different breath weapon. It's treated the same as fire, just kind of like a more of a powerful burst almost. And they make a scene where it's like, oh, you're not flame retardant on the inside. So, yeah, that could have been a slightly design choice where maybe they
also
made it
it's
more
just
blue.
again to not setting things up too much. How much of the audience is more waiting for it versus
So not obviously like those two little minor scenes, not a big deal that they're not in there, not a life-changing thing. So I was really happy with how it held too.
As glad you're happy.
Yeah, I thought Astrid was good and all of them were good.
Yeah.
The side characters are fine, whatever. I kind of know expected. Though the one who was rattling off facts, he seemed the most off to me because I didn't remember the other guy doing that. So I thought he was just kind of big and dumb. So now that he was the rattling off facts, I can't remember. I didn't pay much attention to the side characters.
No.
I do think that they did an interesting choice of the twins. They don't look like identical twins. They do look like identical twins in the books, and so in the movies.
They didn't look like identical twins in that.
No, they did not.
They even talked about how they get confused for each other.
They definitely talked about it, but
to be fair, that was the funniest joke they had. So it's
actually funnier that they're not identical in this. Like it makes.
And then they make the joke
sense.
that we get confused for each other. And I'm like, that's a funny joke. And not many of the things that the side characters had met my level of humor.
Oh no.
Most of it would probably be funny for children.
Yeah, no. They kept the same humor. But in the cartoon, they legitimately look pretty identical for being girl.
But that also explains to me why you gave when they showed up.
Yeah, no. It took me a second to realize, oh, okay, that's who we're actually being. Because when you first see them at nighttime when they're fighting the dragons, I was having a hard time placing all of them. And then when they showed up for like the training the next day, I'm like, okay, now I can see you all in the daylight. And those two aren't adding up so much. But they made them redheads versus like blondes. So it was like things like that. It doesn't matter. But she was shorter and like more round and curvy, and he's like string bean. So they looked very different. I also think just girl and boy, they naturally would look different if they were twins. So it probably leans more into that. So I did appreciate it. It was totally fine. I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
But it is basically bedtime, and we still have to drive home. So it's gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining us. No Stardew. We watched movie instead.
If we would have done a movie at home, we could have had time for Stardew.
You're right. We could have not come and watched this movie. I'm sorry that.
It was fun. I just enjoyed it. We just picked the good thing to do.
Okay.
I was just also sad about Stardew.
She's addicted. Thank you for joining us. Join us as our journey continues.
Bye bye.
Bye.